Frank Fritz, a name familiar to anyone who tuned into American Pickers to witness his keen eye for hidden gems and his playful rivalry with co-host Mike Wolfe. Frank was more than a collector. He was a personality, an icon in the world of antiques where old things found new value under his expert gaze. In 2022, Frank suffered a stroke and was never known to fully recover. On September the 30th, 2024, Frank passed away, and this was confirmed on Tuesday, October the 1st by his friend and former co-host, Mike Wolfe. Today, we honor his life, his career, and the indelible mark he left behind on the world of picking. Frank was born on October 11, 1965 in Davenport, Iowa, a place where stories are rooted deep in the Midwestern soil and where Frank's own story began. Raised by his mother, Susan, and stepfather, Richard, Frank was a child of modest beginnings. His early life was filled with small-town values and a sense of hard work instilled by his parents. His love for motorcycles and unique finds developed early. He started young, scouring garage sales, flea markets, and even the odd junkyard, piecing together a hobby that would later become his lifelong passion. For Frank, there was a thrill in seeing potential in what others discarded. Before the world knew him as the upbeat picker in American Pickers, Frank lived a quieter life, working as a fire inspector. During this time, he started collecting unique firehouse memorabilia. Over time, his collection grew, and so did his network of fellow enthusiasts. It was then he realized that his passion was more than just a hobby. It was a career waiting to happen. He took a leap of faith, left his steady job, and started Frank's Finds. This marked the beginning of his transition from a fire inspector to a full-time collector and dealer. Frank's big break came when he partnered with his old friend Mike Wolfe. Together, they turned their shared passion for unearthing forgotten items into American Pickers. The show premiered on the History Channel in 2010 and became an overnight sensation. Audiences were drawn not only to the treasures they found, but to Frank's infectious enthusiasm and sharp bartering skills. Unlike many reality TV personalities, Frank stood out with his genuine demeanor, his ability to weave a story around an item, and his unmistakable knack for spotting diamonds in the rough. Frank's dynamic with Mike was the show's backbone. The good-natured banter and their contrasting styles kept viewers hooked. It wasn't just about the finds. It was about two friends on the road, rekindling America's love for the forgotten and overlooked. Beyond his television career, Frank's influence extended to the broader antiques community. He often appeared at conventions and auctions, his presence drawing in both seasoned collectors and new enthusiasts alike. His store, Frank's Finds, became a must-visit spot for collectors searching for rare items or hoping to catch a glimpse of the man himself. He also became a voice for small-town dealers, helping bring attention to those preserving America's cultural heritage. And for that, we are ever thankful. Frank's lasting impact on the show and the antique world was also reflected in the show's sustained popularity. American Pickers aired in over 20 countries and ran for more than 300 episodes. It wasn't just about what they picked, but what Frank made people feel. The joy of discovery and the power of history. Knowing where we've come from so we can steer ourselves into the future. But behind the scenes, Frank faced personal struggles. He openly battled Crohn's disease for many years. Yet, instead of letting it define him, Frank used his platform to raise awareness for the condition. He became a beacon of resilience for those suffering in silence, showing that even in the face of a chronic illness, one could continue to chase their passions. His advocacy for motorcycle safety was also personal. A motorcycle enthusiast himself, he spoke out about safe riding practices, encouraging riders to embrace both freedom and caution. Frank had a way with words that captured the essence of picking. He said, "It's not just about what something is worth, it's about the story behind it." And it's true. Frank was a storyteller at heart, whether he was holding a rusted sign from the 1940s or a vintage piece of our Harley-Davidson. He saw each piece as a chapter of someone's life, and that's what made him different. He was more than a picker. He was a historian, in a way, preserving the past one item at a time. Frank's passing marks the end of an era for American pickers. He wasn't just a TV star, he was a bridge between generations. He reminded people that the old shouldn't be discarded, that what's weathered is often what's most valuable. In a world where new is always prized, Frank showed us that there's a magic in things that have seen the passage of time. His legacy lives on not just in the show he helped create, but in the countless collectors he inspired and the communities he supported. Frank may be gone, but his spirit of discovery, his joy in finding treasure where others saw junk, will live on in the hearts of pickers everywhere. Gone, but never forgotten. Thank you, Frank, for reminding us to see the beauty in the overlooked and the value in the forgotten. Rest in peace, Frank. Your story will always be remembered.